Welcome to This Week in East Brunswick. The Friends of the Library are in the news this week with another successful Tricky Tray. And another fundraising effort to benefit the library, the grand opening of the new Bassett bookshop at the Mid-State Mall. Baseball wraps up the fall season in East Brunswick. Jen Enton talks with Little League coach Bill Stapleton. And kids at the high school get some valuable basketball tips from Rutgers coach Bob Wenzel. All of this and more is coming up, including a trip to Smith Farms, information on how to keep your pets safe outside this winter, and our regular review of this week's council meeting. But first, let's look at the Channel 8 schedule for the first week in November. On Monday morning, Lenore Kulik firms up on the floor at 10 a.m. on Look Great, Feel Great. Halloween stories follow at 10:30 on Stories from the Library. On Monday night, Election Eve, tune into Channel 8 for a last chance look at the local candidates. Watch the mayoral profiles at 6 p.m., the council candidate profiles at 6:30, the mayoral forum begins at 7:30, and the candidates forum follows at 8 p.m. Tuesday night, tune into the Channel 8 Community Bulletin Board for the results of East Brunswick's local election. Dr. John Kopko, Superintendent of East Brunswick Schools, discusses integrated language arts with his guests, Phil Cacavelli and Dr. Miriam Hoffman on Spotlight on Education. That's Wednesday night at 7:30. At 8 o'clock, Laura Ivan learns about the benefits of nutrition and the dangers of eating disorders on 18 Growing Up in East Brunswick. Thursday, join us again for another edition of This Week in East Brunswick at 7 and 8 o'clock. And at 7:30, tune into Let's Talk Health with host Steve Sackman. On Saturday, watch a complete rundown of this week's regular programming. Tell us about what's going on here today.
Well, this is a final phase, I should say, the demolition of the old JK's Talk of the Town, and we will be commencing also the tearing down of the motel and also the Queen's Diner very, very shortly. So we could put in a very, very large, what we call a super jug handle on the site. The purpose of the jug handle is to remove traffic off of Route 18, allow traffic to flow a lot quicker than it is currently flowing, and to make East Brunswick a better place to live because we're going to have less traffic. So this is the final phase, is in the demolition phase, and then a construction of a new jug handle will be completed afterwards.
Who's responsible for the planning of the jug handle?
Well, 4 years ago, we made a commitment, both the Township Council and the Mayor, that we will have improved traffic flow. So we asked a group, and we authorized a group called the RBA Group, to put through plans to put through this jug handle. And they're the ones that made the entire plan. The council approved it. One of the good things about it is that it's not going to cost the East Brunswick taxpayer anything. It's going to cost approximately $4 million, but that's going to be paid by Middlesex County Utilities Authority. They agreed to pay for it. Township agreed to support this project, and again, it's a very, very positive project for the residents of East Brunswick.
How long do you think it'll be in the works?
We're expecting that it was no longer than probably July of next year, 1993, that it will take to complete the laying of the pavement and putting up the curbing work and everything else that's necessary to make sure that this works correctly. Again, when this is completed, it will be a very, very large jug handle capable of handling approximately 60 cars and 20 tractor-trailers. So it's going to be a very, very big project, and we're hoping to move it through as quickly as possible, and the goal is to have it done by June or July of next year.
How will construction impact traffic now?
Construction won't affect it at all because it's all off of Route 18. It will not affect traffic any worse than traffic is right now. But we all agree traffic is a problem, and we had to do something about this. I think, and my fellow councilman and also the mayor's office obviously feels that this is going to improve traffic by 100% in the southbound direction. It's a positive project. We also have the added benefit that this is a black lighted site. Everybody knows that the old JK's Talk of the Town, which was a go-go bar, was in a very, very popular area where East Brunswick residents wanted this in the town. So we're also making sure that this thing is torn down right away, and as well as the motel, which should be torn down right away. We're going to lose a good neighbor in the diner, but hopefully the diner will find another good location on Route 18.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Cindy.
At East Brunswick High School over the weekend, the Friends of the Library held the 10th annual Best Ever Tricky Tray. Each year, the Friends of the Library sponsors this event, which is one of the major fundraisers for the library. Several organizations and individuals donated new gift items that were auctioned off at the Tricky Tray. Prizes included a VCR, a CD player, a sewing machine, and even a pink dinosaur. The monies raised at the Tricky Tray are used to purchase and update equipment and collections at the library. The Friends of the Library's other big fundraisers include the annual book sale held each spring at the Brunswick Square Mall and the sale of entertainment coupon books. The entertainment books are currently for sale at $40 a piece and are available at the Media Services desk at the library. If you want more information about joining the Friends of the Library or any other event the Friends are sponsoring, please call the Library Administration Office at 390-6761.
Another fundraiser planned to benefit the Friends of the Library involves the Bassett Bookshop, Middlesex County's newest and largest bookstore. Bassett Bookshop, a 20,000 square foot superstore, is located at Midstate Mall. Manager Diana Jones and events planner Donna Fletcher talked about the upcoming gala event to benefit the Friends and about how Bassett differs from other bookshops.
Bassett is a wonderful opportunity for customers to come in and browse. We have a title selection that's hard to beat. We have 150,000 books in our store, and that equates to about 80,000 titles. So we have a real deep title selection, and we try to create an atmosphere where people feel comfortable. They can just come in and browse, relax, sit in our Poets Corner or in our chairs that are placed throughout the store, and just take that 10 minutes or half hour and sit and look at their books before they purchase them. And we have different special sections set up in our store. For example, we have an entire children's section that carries a wide assortment of titles. We have a little amphitheater in there that's designed for kids to sit and read their books. We have little tables and chairs, but our amphitheater also works well for our story times or our special features. As an example, the Maurice Sendak book, Where the Wild Things Are, we have a Wild Things event coming up where we will have the wild thing in costume here as we're reading the story. But we also have other sections that are real special, like our social science, which is subdivided into probably 10 different categories. Our history section, we break out American history to military history, foreign history, area studies. We also carry a great magazine title selection. We have over 1,100 magazines in our store. We carry the major Sunday newspapers from all areas of the country, as well as probably 24 foreign newspapers. We have a coffee bar in our Bassett bookshop, and we invite people to come in, sit down, have a cup of flavored coffee, or we also do the lattes, the cappuccinos, espressos, as well as carrying a full line of assorted pastries. And we want people to feel comfortable to come browse in our store, pick up a book, take it up to the coffee bar, sit down, have a cup of coffee, and glance at the book. See if it really is the one that they've been looking for. We have, as well as our story hours, we've got school classrooms that come in for special events. Donna, what are some of the other things?
Well, we're going to be having a book discussion group. We'll meet the third Monday of each month from 7 to 8. And we're going to have a Young Writers Workshop on the third Wednesday of every month for children 14 to 17. So they'll be able to come in with their writing and discuss it and share their thoughts and everything. And autographings, demonstrations, cooking demonstrations, craft demonstrations, We have Barbara Taylor Bradford coming in on the 7th from 12 to 1, and in the afternoon from 2 to 4 there'll be New Jersey authors Elaine Barbieri, Barbara Brenton, Ann Lynn, and Suzanne Hoos. On Halloween we have 2 horror authors and a suspense author coming in, Pat Gravison and Deborah Barton and Gloria Murphy. And we have some activities going on for the children too. There'll be candy there for them naturally. They'll be able to draw on some pumpkins, paper pumpkins. And there'll be stories, scary stories throughout the day for them to enjoy.
We're having our gala November 2nd from 6 p.m. till 9 p.m. We'd like to invite people to come by. We will have an hors d'oeuvre or cocktail type hour set up where people can meet us, meet some of our corporate people, as well as the staff here in the store. They can feel free to partake of the goodies, as well as browse throughout the store and get a real feel of what Bassett Bookshop is about. A percentage of the proceeds for that day will be donated to the library here.
On November's For Art's Sake, Dolly Bassett takes us on a tour of local farms to celebrate the glories of autumn. In this segment, she stops by Smith Farms in East Brunswick for a lesson in making apple cider.
We're here at the Smith Farm in East Brunswick, New Jersey, and in a few minutes we're going to watch the process of cider making, which to me is kind of fun because it's one of my favorite things to do is to drink cider. But at this moment I'm sitting here with Lori Webke, and she is the daughter of one of the owners. And I wanted to ask her a few questions about this place. As long as I've lived in this town, this place has existed. How long has the Smith Farm been here?
It's probably been here a little over 100 years, maybe around 105, somewhere around there.
I know before you were busy telling me, though, that you really didn't get involved in the whole process of anything. You were busy running in the orchard.
Yeah, I just kind of use it as a big playground, running around, climbing the trees and things like that. But
it has, excuse me, it has grown, though, over the years into specializing in different fields.
Yeah, you know, the cider is probably only about 20 years. We didn't have that at the beginning. This is an addition we added about that same time. You know, before that, we did a lot more wholesale. You know, we had more apples and we sold out to other farms and other businesses. We just had a small place here for ourselves.
But it's now a year-round business with you.
Oh yeah, it's open year-round.
It's a really neat place to come, I'll tell you. The smells in there are out of sight. Why don't we go over and take a look at the process then? I think they're about ready for us.
Sounds good.
Sounds good to me too. I'm going to have you walk me through the process of making cider before we turn the machines on, because unfortunately we can't compete with the sound. That's right. But you and I were talking earlier, and we said there are so many different kinds of apples that go into
making cider.
What kinds do you use?
I use Stamen Wine Saps, Golden Delicious, Red Delicious. I have Bright Max and Molly Delicious. I use some 20 ounce, and the Spartans, Macoons.
Do you when you decide, do you decide, I'm going to use, I'm just going to use an imaginary figure now, but say 5 crates of Macintosh and 5 crates of Delicious, or do you just kind of say, oh, I'll do this and I'll do this and I'll do this?
I usually make about 10 or 15 Mollies and 10 or 15 Bright Max, and maybe a few Spartans, 5 or 10 Spartans in a mixture, and whatever's left I put back inside and use it all over again.
And you start all over again, the whole process. So really there's not a lot of waste, is there? I noticed there is some stuff over there.
Ones with rotten spots and stuff like that on it gets thrown in the bin with the pulp and get thrown out.
Right, well that's what interested me, was the pulp over there, and it looks like great big sheets of cardboard almost, until you get up close to it.
That's right.
You were saying that they use it for deer feed.
That's right. And when they don't come and take it for deer feed, I put it in a hamper out there and take it to the dump.
It seems to me it could be recycled.
But that's where I put it.
Okay, well listen, let's start this process. So, okay, you've gotten the apples that you want to use, right? And they're put here.
Right.
Then what?
Then they go up the elevator into into a grinder which got knives on it, and it's ground up like pulp. You can see it in here.
Let's see. Yes, it's definitely pulp.
And then it gets pumped out, and over here to that frame is put on top of this flat, and I put this cloth on top of it, and I pump the pulp into that cloth and pull the cloth up, and then I put a slat on top of it, then start all over again.
So in other words, the cloth actually is the filter.
That's
it's
right.
like a strainer, and it strains all the
That's
stuff
right.
out of it.
That's,
How much during the season do you think that you actually process?
over 3,500 gallons of cider from about September to April.
That's a lot of cider.
Little Leaguers wrapped up the fall season this week. Jen Enton was there to talk with Bill Stapleton.
Who's playing in the games here tonight?
Tonight we have 4 fields with 4 different age levels playing. Children from 9 to 15 years old are participating in their fall baseball regular season.
I understand that boys and girls play in the games together.
Yeah, it's a co-ed league. Girls or boys are allowed to play. It's your basic baseball.
And I understand that this is also one of the only towns or one of the only places in the area that has fall baseball?
As far as we know, we are the only town that run a fall baseball program. We had very good success running our spring programs and kind of emulated soccer's success of having a fall program. We tried it 3 years ago and it took off to the point that this year we have 275 kids participating.
So do you draw a large crowd from places other than East Brunswick?
The fall program is particularly appealing to Central Jersey towns. Mostly we get talented children that have participated in an all-star level like to come out and work on their skills.
I understand you also have 2 leagues here, the Little League and the All-Star League?
Yeah, this year we, at the 11th hour, put together an all-star program to continue a higher level of play for the boys that participated in our summer program. And we've drawn towns from as far as Brooklyn, New York.
And who can participate in these programs?
It's open to, the fall program is open to anyone who's willing to make the trip and bundle up. Our summer program is predominantly East Brunswick children. We have some children from other towns. We're a Little League affiliated town, so that there's some restrictions that are inherent with that.
And they're just normal games every weeknight, or are they on certain nights?
Actually, this complex hosted 760 ball games this year.
Wow.
It's quite a busy place. We had 1,400 children in our regular spring program. Our All-Star program was quite a success. We had 96 teams from out of town come participate in the month of July. I'd like to make a plug for our East Brunswick program. Our 12-year-old boys won the Williamsport districts, as did our 13-year-old boys and our senior boys, which are 14-15s. It's the first time that ever happened in this district.
And how can a child go about signing up to participate in Little League?
We attempt to advertise as well as we can to get the word out. We put notices in the paper. We have some plugs on Channel 8. And our phone number is 254-5911. There's a voice message system there that we'll be sure to have someone get back to you in regard to registration.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
One of the after-school programs run by the Division of Recreation is Basketball Junkies. The program, taught by East Brunswick High School varsity coaches Bo Henning and Reggie Carney, meet twice a week from October to November and teach the 5th through 7th graders basic basketball skills, as well as an awareness to drugs and choices they'll need to make concerning drugs. On occasion, guest speakers come in, like this past Monday when Rutgers University varsity coach Bob Wenzel stopped in to instruct the kids.
What's your name? Come here, son. Hurry up. Always hustle when you're around me. I have this thing about hustling. What's your name?
Nick Mark.
Okay, Nick. All right. You tell them what drug testing is.
When you test someone for drugs.
When you test someone for drugs. That's right. And if they fail the test, you know that they've taken drugs, right? Wave to your mother. She's not watching. All right, go sit down. Okay, we have drug testing at Rutgers for my team. Pay attention. Go out, hit your head with the ball. We have drug testing, and every week the players come in and they have to have a drug test. And the way you have a drug test is you go to the bathroom and they put it in one of these things, and then they send it off to a laboratory and they decide if there was any person who was taking drugs. Right? And we haven't had one positive drug test in the 4 years that I've been a coach at Rutgers. So I know that none of my players use drugs. I coached in the pros, the New Jersey Nets. Not so great, you know. But there was drug testing in the pros too, and we had one guy who did test positive for drugs, and they got rid of him. Okay? So it's a very important thing, and it's done everywhere. So when you hear your parents talking to you about this, don't act like you're bored. This is important stuff. Okay, I'm going to teach you some basketball stuff. Who knows how to chest pass? Raise your hand. Stand up. No, you were in a picture already. You were in a picture. You stand up. Stand right there. Hurry up, hurry up, hurry up. Put the ball down. Put the ball down. All right, now she's going to throw a chest pass to me. All right, let's see if she knows how to do it. Go ahead, chest pass. How was that? Give that a rating. 10 is great, 1 is not so good, 5's in the middle. Who says it was a 10? Wrong. Okay? Who said it was a 5? Right, it was pretty good, it got to me, but it wasn't the exact right form. Let me show you how.
Welcome back once again to your Pet Doctor. I'm Dolly Vaster, your host, and my co-host is...
I'm Dr. Brian Johnson from the Cranberry Veterinary Hospital in East Brunswick.
Yes, and today we're going to discuss the cold weather, which will be coming up, and preparation for pets who are kept out in it.
Yeah, we have several categories. There's the dogs that remain outside year-round, rabbits, chickens, things of this nature. The dogs probably are the ones that get the least care when they should. The only way that they stay warm is by the food that they eat, so that they have to get a better quality and larger quantity of that food than they receive during the summer. In the house, you turn your furnace on. Well, the only way they're going to stay warm is to have the adequate amount of food and a very high quality food. In their houses, they have to be protected from the rain, they have to be protected from the wind, and probably most important, they have to be protected from the ground. Most of their heat is going to be lost into the ground. So you should get them up off the ground by 2 to 4 inches, preferably with some insulation, and if they have a door to get into their house, have some type of carpet or plastic that folds over it so that the wind doesn't blow in.
What about underneath it?
Best if you put some type of insulation, not the rock wool, because they always manage to get at that. Cedar shavings, blanket if you have to, cedar shavings probably, or pine shavings would be best. This will protect them against the cold of the bottom. And just, it should not be too big. Since the body heat has to warm the house up, if you make it too big, it makes it too big for the body to heat. So it should be big enough for the dog to get into and move around, but not one that he can walk back and forth. The house is just to sleep in, really.
Is there any type of dog, seriously, that should be kept out? Because you and I have discussed this before. I don't believe in bad weather. Any animal should be kept outside. But is there any type of dog that requires being kept out?
No, there is not. As long as you accustom the dog to the surroundings. If in January you decide you want to put your dog outside, it's too late. You have to start them in August, getting used to the outside. By January, he's already developed a coat from the inside. And the converse is true. If you feel sorry for your dog mid-January, you say, I'm going to bring him into the house. He will just lay there and pant, and he'll be very, very uncomfortable because he's developed a coat to protect him against the outside. So now, and that's why we're talking about it, this is when you have to prepare for the winter.
Well, if you have to overfeed the outside dog, then do you
Underfeed
the inside dog?
Yes, exactly, because during this time the dog is not going to be out running around as much. You're not going to be walking him as much, or at least the average person does not, and they don't get as much exercise. So this is when they tend to put on a few pounds.
Well,
so
it's just like us.
It's, yeah, just like us at the holiday time. And make sure you have plenty of water for the outside dog, as we discussed last week with the birds. As the water freezes, you must have water available to them, and a couple of times a day is adequate. Make sure they have housing, face the door away from the north wind, and make sure they have protection to get in out of the rain. So the ideal is some type of shelter with the house under the shelter. And yes, I would rather see the dogs inside with me. There's no question about that, but sometimes circumstances dictate that they cannot. So if that's the case, at least we'll get them so that they will have a comfortable outside.
Well, we can't ask for more than that, but if I can tell you this, take them in when it gets cold, okay? Anyway, we'll see you all next week. Take care.
At Monday night's Township Council action meeting, members of the Raritan Valley Roadrunners received a proclamation as sponsors of the 15th annual East Brunswick Road Races. The races are scheduled for Sunday, November 1st. Also at Monday's meeting, Youth Services Commission member Edith Gutman made a presentation to the council of the results of a recent survey they conducted.
2,800 youth grades 6 to 12 in East Brunswick, and you have before you the final results of that survey. And as you will note, 91% of the respondents indicated a desire to have a central location where they can meet with friends and participate in activities with people their own age.
In the public portion, several residents complained about recent problems and inconsistencies with the pickup of their recyclables and garbage. Many were concerned because the garbage and recyclables pickup schedules were changed, causing some streets to have collection over 3 or 4 days instead of a 2-day period. Township Administrator Jack Coughlin told residents that the Department of Public Works is aware of the problems and will try to work with the collection firm, National Waste, to correct the problems by January 1st. In other council news, the council approved a resolution which enables attorney Michael Nord to represent the township with regard to truck noise and traffic on McGuire Street. That's all for now. We leave you tonight with video of members of Brownie Troop 1170 who came to visit the Channel 8 studios last week. Thanks for watching.